Sup, guys? We'll kick it off with GU for today. Obviously, last night I had that really clean sell. Followed that whole range down at the bottom of a new internal leg right now. We are obviously still retracing inside of that bigger external leg just here. But from like an internal current trading range perspective, that is our external leg. Obviously, at the bottom of that, as is, not a lot we can do with it as it stands right now. It is mitigating more or less the decisional area of that break. We have swept this demand, which doesn't really hold any weight in the market, but it is a bit of a liquidity point that we've just induced. Obviously, we're quite bullish up into the mitigation of this area. However, it can sell from there structurally, and at this point did induce some liquidity. Um, just obviously, yeah, quite aggressive into it. Don't really have much in the way to work with structurally just here. We've got a lot of liquidity built up underneath, which is great for a target, but we don't really have anything to be able to work with as it stands right now. If we were to come up and induce internally inside here, give something like that, potentially mitigate and break, that would be worth setting. But it doesn't look like it's going to play ball in that sense. So if it does want to come up, which, yeah, no, that doesn't look like it's going to, I'm open to working with it. But yeah, as it stands right now, there's not really a whole lot that we can do with it. I'd be open to selling it through this area. There's probably a 15-minute point there. Yeah, cool. Happy to work with that area. The smart money trap. And potentially sell it down through, targeting all that liquidity, just following along with that structure cycle. I'm also happy to sell it off the take of the decisional point, and the mitigation of that extreme area. I don't really see a way to buy up to it, or a reason to, given that we're mitigating that decisional right now. So yeah, we'll leave that as is. I'm just going to put that up there. But yeah, in a bit of a interesting spot. I'm just going to mark that out. Cool. Structurally, it makes sense. It's just not a lot for us to be able to do with it. Sweet. All right, EU. He's in a pretty similar spot. EU has induced its decisional of that break after inducing the decisional yesterday. Didn't quite get the mitigation. We have built up a lot of liquidity underneath that supply area, which is really nice. I'd like to target it. I don't want to sell off the mitigation of this point with all that liquidity sitting up there. I'd like to sweep it. A couple of things I'm looking for. We have pulled up, broken low, generated that internal retest with all that liquidity. If we can pull up and sweep this, I'm very keen to sell off of that. Also, as well, I don't believe this point's going to hold. If we can pull down and induce some internal liquidity, I'm happy to buy up to it, targeting that point just there. The only issue that I have with that is the fact that GU is obviously quite clean. The divergence is yeah, quite nice at the minute. But yeah, especially with GU, obviously inducing the same point that EU is respecting, it is really nice. So might just sell. I'm not keen on selling EU where it is right now. I believe this point is a smart money trap. So yeah, if we can pull up and take that, that'd be great. If we do push all the way up, I'll be selling from up here. So it's kind of sell from here or buy, sell. They're the two different options I'm looking for as it stands right now. AU's got nothing. I'm not really going to do too much analysis on AU for just now. I just needed to redevelop its structure. Obviously, we've had a little break to the upside through here. We've retested, more or less retested that area. Swept that, pushing up, mitigating this area. I don't think this point is going to hold. It doesn't make a lot of sense to hold. I see this more or less as our external leg through here. And this kind of like as our extreme. So I don't think this point's going to hold, but I'm not prepared to trade it. We don't really have anything to target for buyers. Structure's a bit weird on it. I'm kind of just going to leave AU to just develop some better structure for a little bit. The DXY ended up inducing really nicely into the mitigation of the extreme 15-minute point of that decisional, and then obviously breaking from there. So it's starting to work its way up. We've got the decisional point here, which has been mitigated already, failed to break, and is coming back down. So if we can pull down and induce this, that'll work out really nicely to push it up, which makes sense for EU to induce and sell. So see if we can get that divergence. That'll be quite clean. But other than that, we'll yeah, just see what it wants to do. I don't know what we've got news-wise today. Not really anything but an orange folder. Oh, we get FOMC in the morning. Could be a bit slow given we've got FOMC. So yeah, prepare for some potentially choppy price action, especially given where we are in the structure cycle, where it makes sense to give a bit of a complex pullback right now. Um, yeah, we'll see. We will see. We had nothing to be concerned about with news or anything like that, other than for New York. I wouldn't be trading New York for anyone that does.